Hello, 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 guys. Welcome. Welcome. Olderman Live. I am 𝗪𝗿𝗄𝗂𝗧. So glad you are joining me today. When you come on, say hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. Are you working out today? Tell me what you plan for your workout today. Thinking ahead. All right. I'm here to help you reach your fitness goals. Get you from your point A, wherever that might be rather new in the gym. All right, looking all over the internet for all the internet strategies that want to help you sort things out, get you more certain and confident in what you do. It's tough enough to rearrange your life to make fitness a higher priority, right? Sometimes you know what you need to do. You just need to feel more certain and confident it's going to pay off. See, I really believe that when a man is certain and confident, his work will pay off. It will lead to building muscle and losing body fat. And it can be, somewhat certain that it's going to pay off along the way. Not 100%. There's nothing like that. You feel 100% confident that's going to pay off. But I always say you got to be at least like 87%. And again, that's just figuratively speaking. 87% confident. And when you feel that sense of certainty, you'll do the work. You'll make the sacrifices. But how do you get that sense of certainty that it's going to pay off? I want to help you. There's so many workout strategies, so many eating strategies. How do you build that muscle? How do you lose that body fat? I come to you every single morning, 7 days a week, right? At this time, I'm doing this live on TikTok, right? So if you're on TikTok, say hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. Tell me how old you are, right? And if you're watching me on Facebook, good morning. Say hello, tell me where you're watching me from, and ask questions. YouTube, same thing. And guys, make sure you're on all of my social media platforms. 𝗪𝗿𝗄𝗧. Do a Google search. In addition, if you're new, I know that the social media platforms do a great job of, when I go live, making you aware that I'm on live. So I've got a few seconds to convince you to stick around for another 10 seconds to let you know what I have to offer you. So let me jump it right into these questions. All right. So 𝗪𝗏𝗂𝗧 over on YouTube. Let's see here. What is my workout split when I was winning a competition? All right. Split when I was winning a competition is the same workout split I have now. I train 4 or 5 days a week. I'm in for no more than 45 minutes. I train one body part, then, not necessarily just one body part a week, high intensity. All right. When I put whatever I do lower volume compared to most, higher volume. And again, I know that means I don't do as many sets. I don't do as many exercises. I'm not in there as long. I don't train the body part as frequently. But what I do, I make sure every set I'm safely going to what is called absolute failure, right? Or as close to it as possible. Getting more out of what I do one set at a time, all right? And that's basically the key. So building muscle, losing body fat's the same whether you're young or you're old or somewhere in between, whether you're doing a competition or not. So I don't know what that really means. If you're asking me, like, when you want to get lean, do you do more reps? Do you train the body part more often? Does that get you lean? No, your diet gets you lean, right? If you want to see the workouts that I have right here on TikTok, I've got a 17-minute video that takes you through an entire 5-day workout. Each exercise, the order of the exercise, the number of sets, the number of reps, what I work each day. It's right here on TikTok, or you can go to my 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗧.com website. It'll say workouts for women. Again, it's a 17-minute video. It's all lined out for you. And I do versions of that. All right. So thank you so much for being here. Make sure you follow if you're new, if you're looking for workout strategies that are simple and effective, right? Get the job done, but aren't all consuming with your willpower, focus, energy, and time. Not because you're lazy, because you got a lot of things going on. You don't have all the brain space and all the time. Thank you so much for the follow, Tim. Got a new sound effects here on my my TikTok studio. I'm loving this setup. This is like my own TV show every single morning. I do this at about this time. You're the first person I talk to every morning. It's 4:12 a.m. Pacific time. I do the show 7 days a week, so make sure you follow. Thank you so much for the follows. All right, so thank you so much for the follows, Tim, Jay. All right, Big Dog, sup, y'all? Efren, great to have you here. Thank you for the follow, Efren. Give you a cheer too. All right. Tim is from San Antonio, Texas. He's 53. Thank you for being here, Tim. Let me give you a cheer too. Okay, so I've never had a problem, but I was very heavy. Okay, not sure what that question is. I'm P92. I'm trying to lose belly fat. I'm running. What else can I do? Great question, P92. So that's it. You know, I'll tell you, whether you're just starting out on the journey, you're trying to really, you know, you've been working out, you look pretty good, better than most men your age, and you're really just trying to take that next level. Let me just tell you this: the key to all of this, and if you stick with me long enough, you'll see how it all comes together. When you lose that body fat, even when you look better than most, even when you're not fat, losing the body fat is key to having that physique that you want to see in the mirror. Far more important than running, far more important than working out with weights. You want to do all those things, right? You want to be healthy and fit. You just don't want to worry about what you look in the mirror only, all right? So the key to losing body fat is going to be your diet. Running, that's great, and probably doesn't help as much as you think. As much as most men think. You gotta you know, fight to keep that muscle, build some muscle at this age, be healthy and fit. All right, you should run for cardiovascular or walk or a cardio machine for cardiovascular health. All right, our body doesn't function the same way when we were younger, and I think that we all know that. But what does that mean? Because we're focused on what we look like in the mirror. A lot of men need to lose body fat, so they're looking about like an aesthetic appearance, but the circulatory system, you know, oxygen, blood circulation, things don't work the same when they're younger, and we need to help it with exercise. You need to do that cardiovascular exercise for health and longevity, not necessarily because of the way it'll help you lose body fat or look better in the mirror, right? This is all done with your diet, and I think, you know, people hear that and they just kind of glaze over and they don't attack it enough. All right, so, you know, a lot of men, I would say, if I did some research, when men just get introduced to me, right, before they even met me, they don't know anything, and I'll tell you a little bit about my background and how I believe I'm uniquely qualified to help you. All right, so they look in the mirror, maybe they got 40 pounds of body fat, they're tired, they're disgusted with the way they look. Maybe earlier in your life, you took care of your family and your business, and you didn't make working out a part of your life, but now you have the time, now you have that desire to make that happen. All right, so you're looking on the internet and you put workouts for older men because you believe they need the right workout. I need to work out. And whether it's you're going to go to a commercial gym, you know, and you want to know the best workout routine, your workout split, as Stavin asks over on YouTube, or you just want to know about running or bands or pull-ups, or it could be as basic as that, somewhere in between. You want to know which workout is going to help improve that appearance of merit and help you lose that body fat. Well, the thing you want to do as you find me, when you put workouts for older men and you see all my videos and you may see the workouts that I have, is that I'm going to help you master working out, understanding it, fit it into your life. But that diet, how you eat, I don't know, you know, it's how you eat. You want to call it a diet, an eating plan, habits, whatever, the way you look at food, how you budget it, what you're willing to sacrifice, all right, your habits eating, that is what's going to help you lose that 40 pounds of body fat and that last 10 pounds when you've been doing this a long time, all right? So I know you come here for workouts, or you know, most men believe that is the key. It's going to be the eating plan. So my question would be, no matter where you are in the process, what does that mean to you? Let me help you figure out how to lose that body fat. Everybody has a point A, meaning and a point B. What the goal is point B, what you want to see in the mirror. Point A is where you are right now in the process. All right, so that's what I'm here to do, help you. You can sit back and hope that someone asks a question that will help you. Many times, I'll just tell you, I come here live so I can actually connect with you, all right, and help you, because many times someone else will ask the question and it really pertains to you. It would really help you out, but because somebody else is asking, you might think, well, my conditions are different, and not even realize what I'm telling that other person is exactly what you need to understand and what you need to do. Hey, Kak, how you doing? Gustavo over on YouTube. Are you new? Are you brand new? I want to know how this works. You know, I think a lot of the social media platforms are doing what TikTok is doing, and TikTok is someone goes live and creates content on their platform. They'll expose to anybody in the algorithm that's anywhere close to an older man who looks for fitness, and so at least I'll get 10 seconds flashed, and then I hopefully I make an impact on those 10 seconds so it'll stay a little longer. And I believe that Facebook and YouTube are going to be doing the same thing. So tell me if you're new, if you're watching me on Facebook or on TikTok, so I know how to better serve you. All right, Dax, Skip. How much zone 2 cardio are you doing? I don't worry about zone 2 cardio. All right. What age do you recommend starting to look into TRT? You know, I don't recommend any age to look into TRT. I recommend you know how to build muscle, lose body fat, be healthy and fit, manage your stress, manage your life. All right, and when or if you know you have a problem, right, and you've done everything else, then I wouldn't even put the thought. You know, there's too many, and in my opinion, there's too many people that question is too much on top of mind, because too many of your influencers started using TRT at 35, and again, once they make that decision that this is the greatest thing in the world, good for them. But it's not the best thing for everybody, and it's not needed by everybody. Everybody has different goals. You don't want to be an influencer. It isn't that important to you to make that type of a commitment. But once it gets in your mind, oh my God, you know, I'm tired. I'm not building muscle and losing body fat as much as I think I should. Is it my age? Let me just tell you something. I've been doing this for 35 years. Young or older, nobody has enough energy as much as they want, right? Nobody builds muscle and loses body fat as quickly as they want. They're all doubting if they're doing the right thing. You know, putting that in your head that it's because of your testosterone, right? Because you can't build muscle and lose body fat. That's not, in my opinion, that's not a good reason, you know, to start thinking, oh, I can't build muscle, because everybody can't build enough muscle and lose enough body fat, right? And they don't know how to work out, and they don't even know the importance of nutrition too. I would worry about that first, and I wouldn't even get that in your mind, because it doesn't. A couple of things. Let me just let you know down the line, helping out, you know, thousands of men over the years, not just older men, but when they're younger and things like that. You know, the journey to build more muscle and lose more body fat and looking better in the mirror, that's an endless journey. So if you were to take synthetic hormones, TRT, and it, you know, bumps you up a couple steps, so you have more muscle and less body fat, you're still on that journey. Still trying to be, you may think that if you had more muscle and less body fat, you'd be happy, and then you'd move on to other things in your life, but it doesn't happen that way. So maybe you're here and not here because you're not aided by, you know, hormones to build muscle and lose body fat, but you're still on that mental ride anyway. So knowing that, if you believe that to be true, do you want to permanently need to take hormones? All right. So now, again, I'm not talking about medical conditions and all these type of things. I'm talking about if you're primarily here because you think having more muscle and less body fat make you happier in life, and that's your solution, All right. So that's what I'm talking about, because, you know, a lot of the times that's the attraction, or even the self-doubt playing in your head about your hormones levels being too low. Too low for what? You want to what, right? And so if you really listen to, you know, a lot of the influencers who do promote TRT, and it's just mandatory and it changes your life, you'll see that it's more mental. It's more mental and emotional, and for the quality of life, giving them that edge. It gave them a jump start. It's like a life enhancement drug. You know, talk about performance enhancing drugs for sports, right? You'll talk about that benefit. That's the benefit that you want, all right? And risk versus reward. But, you know, I think most men, again, if you're doing this to build muscle and lose body fat, I don't think that's a good reason. You should look a little bit deeper into what it takes. So let me follow up with some of these questions here. Let's see here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the follows. Mr. Fortune, I've been working out for 35 years, just about 35 years here in a couple months. Let's see here. A lot of questions here. Let's see. Thank you for the follows, guys. Sean, what's up from 9-year-old male? I've had a hard time losing visceral fat. I've never had a six-pack. How do you know that you have visceral fat? Did you get that measured? Because you really don't know how much visceral fat you have. You got to get that kind of scanned, but you've never had a six-pack. What are you doing for a six-pack? Let me ask you this question, Sean. Maybe it's not visceral fat versus subcutaneous fat. Maybe, have you tried getting a six-pack? You've never had a six-pack. What have you done? Tell me, what have you done to get that six-pack? All right. Do you know how many calories you eat every day? And again, the answer could be no, but, you know, I can help you on this discussion, getting into the right direction. Joe, thank you so much for the rose, the gifts. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But this is what I like about the one-on-one coaching, because everybody has a different perception of how they're interpreting the information and how it applies to them. I can cut through all of that to help you. All right, let's see here. A lot of questions here. Let me get to these real quick for you guys. And again, Facebook, say hello when you get here. YouTube, if you have questions, make sure you answer. I didn't get any questions yesterday from YouTube, but one of the comments was, hey, can you just answer my question about, I don't know, sets and reps? I can't answer your question if you don't ask it. Let's see here. A lot of questions to scroll through here. Okay. Sean is new. Thank you so much for being here, Sean. Brian is new. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you follow. All right. Mike is new. Thank you for being here. I think I answered your initial comment, didn't I, Sean? I'm young and filled with natural testosterone, but tips to improve it naturally. Lift weights, eat right, get plenty of rest, avoid stress. User wants to know about a PPF, push-pull legs, Arnold split. What do I think? I think that will work, right? When you execute it properly. I don't think the magic isn't in the training split. Trust me on that one. I'm not saying one might be better than that. They'll all work, right? It's you executing on a continual basis. It's backing that up with good eating habits. And more importantly, what do you expect in what time frame? It could be working, but you realize it. You just expect more just because you want more, but that may not be how the body works. Also, you may have too much body fat. If you got 25% body fat, that I guess may be considered good in the regular world, but you're not going to see all this hard work that you're doing with that much body fat, even though it looks better than most men your age, especially when you're older. I've been on TRT since I've been 34. Can I lose fat and have a good body by doing 1 to 5 reps and 3-minute rest in between sets? You know what? That training style of I assume heavier weight, 1 to 5 reps, 3 minutes rest in between. Your training approach does not help you lose body fat. So can I lose body fat and have a good body doing this workout? That part can help, but you're not going to lose fat, whatever your training routine is. Thank you for the follow, Johnny. Let's see here. A lot of questions over here, and every time one comes through, it kind of kicks it back. All right. I'm 50 and had okay. So, you know, John talks about he's on testosterone monthly because he's tired all the time, right? You know, so my thing is great. If that's going to help improve the quality of your life, we're all grown men. You know, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, all right, or how to go about having more energy, getting more out of life. And we got one shot to go through this life. You got to do what it takes to make your life happy. I'm not telling you what to do or not to do, but I can tell you this, you know, sometimes being tired is your mental habits, your daily habits that get in control of life. Sometimes you're tired because you're not eating properly. Sometimes you need to work out. Sometimes more movement actually creates more energy. Being really focused on what you've got going and being creating an optimistic can affect energy levels. And my message, you know, you got to do whatever you think you need to do for your life. My message is that, you know, if you don't know how to train and you don't know how to eat, you can be benefited by that, but you still should learn how to train and eat and manage what you need to do with your life, right? I deal with a lot of men, right? And they don't even work out. They're very busy in business, and so they'll get TRT peptides and their body will respond, right? It's a financial investment, you know, with all the risk that's involved, but they work that out with their doctor. And what the doctor will say, you know, man, you're responding so well to this. Why don't you learn how to work out? Why don't you work out? And why don't you eat? And so I'm just telling men, you know, you got to learn how to work out and how to eat. You may not need such, you know, maybe you might have more energy, more optimism towards life. Maybe you can lose that body fat, build that muscle when you learn how to train and eat. But ultimately, it's your decision. I don't pass judgment. When I was a 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder, I never try to climb in somebody's life and tell them what they should do and they shouldn't do. I mean, those are decisions that you got to make yourself. But I just taught them how to, you know, train and eat, right? So this is what I have a problem someone giving advice, you know, on my platform. The last thing I want to do is correct somebody who's giving advice, but at the same time, this is not your platform to give your misinformation or even your beliefs. So, you know, like I said, I don't want to necessarily correct people here. I appreciate your theories on how this works, your beliefs. But now you put me in a position to break down what you said and go over you, right? And this just isn't a platform for you to give information, right? Robinson says, love your answer to that question. This is why I follow you, my friend. Well, thank you. What question was that on TRT? Let's see here. I'm 355 and still can't get down. Joe, how many calories are you eating a day? Right? What are you doing to you're 335 and you can't lose that weight? What exactly are you doing? Thank you for following Hassam. Joe on Facebook. I'm so glad you're here, sir. Let me give you a clap. Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Joe, that's for you over on Facebook. I'm so glad you're here. If you guys have any questions, make sure that you ask them. So you used to have a diet book written by me. Probably find all the information you need on the internet. All right. You're looking for that. Kirk on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Okay, yeah, the TRT question. Great. How old are you, mate? I will be 62 years old next month. Good morning, Digital. Thank you for being here. You guys make sure you follow. Hey, thank you so much for all the likes. Joe, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see. Hey, Frank. Robert, how are you, sir? Great to have you here. I am 49. I lost 140 pounds for that. Over the last 12 months, trying to get lean and get a six-pack. I am 232 from 370. Okay. Well, 12 months, it's an amazing transformation in 12 months. How do you know that are you asking what to do? Or are you pretty confident if you continue to do the same things, you're going to get closer? I don't know how tall you are, but how many pounds do you think, you have to lose? Do you believe that what you did to lose those 140 pounds, that if you keep on doing that for a long enough period of time, because 12 months, that's quite a transformation. What if you got the 6 pounds, that six pack, and it took you 12 more months, right? So that was that total transformation from going from 3 to whatever, 198 with the six pack. If that took you 2 years, would that be worth the journey there? 𝗪cie𝗿𝗂𝗂𝗧, thank you so much for the follow. All right. So tell me, 𝗪cie𝗿𝗂𝗧, tell me if you feel confident if you continue what you're doing, or do you have some uncertainty? Have you stalled out? Or you just, you feel good about where you're going? All right. Easy, 6'2", 260, 48 years old, 2 jobs. I stay way busy. What's my best option to get down to 230? Watching what you eat, right? Learning more about your eating habits and just maybe walking for your health. But tell me what you're doing with your eating habits. If anybody wants to lose body fat, whether it's a little or a lot or somewhere in between, first question I'm going to ask you, how are you approaching this with your eating habits? Rory asked, Skip, as an actual, what was the largest measurement you got to your biceps? You know, I don't really go by measurements because when people ask that question, I know in bodybuilding 20-inch arms or whatever, right? But, you know, number one is very few people have big arms when they're lean, when they look their best, like on stage. I mean, be surprised how light they are, right? So when I was on stage, you know, whatever it looks like, I was 5'11", 205 pounds, right? I didn't measure myself because I don't understand how this works, all right? You know, and the off seat, and again, how tall are they? What's their bone structure? Because that doesn't matter, you know, for visual pictures. It doesn't matter for contests. But I mean, off season, I measure my arms at 19 inches. At my biggest, at my youngest, is my, you know, the most effort, and that's off season. That's body fat. Never measured my arms when I look the best on contests, but it would be far less than that. So, yeah, I know it'd be, a lot of people might act like that's the biggest, you know, the biggest flex, I guess, that they can have. That has very little, it has very little importance to this, to be perfectly honest. So I never was concerned with that. Actually, that's why, you know, any successful bodybuilder doesn't worry about size, because if you worry about size, you have just a little bit too much body fat. You're not going to look as big on stage. And so you can keep your 19-inch biceps, but they should have been dieted down to, I don't know, 17 3/4, and you probably would have won the show. So the people who know how that works, but here's the thing, forget about that. Forget about, you know, my bodybuilding, right? It's kind of the same principles for you to look the way you want now that you're older, how this really works. How long do you rest between your sets, boss? Why would that matter? And again, I'm asking you to think through this, right? What would it matter? So if you sped up, right? You waited 30 seconds rather than a minute, or whatever you think the right amount is. Why are you doing that? Just faster mean what? You're going to build more muscle, more blood, or if you're doing it faster, that does that get you to block out distractions and you're more focused if you hurry up and do the next set? Do you think that hurrying up from set to set helps you lose body fat? Seems like that may be the case, right? You don't rest in between. What theory can you come up with? More oxygen in the muscle for a better pump? I don't know. My question is, why would you even come up? The answer to the question is, building muscle is all about overload. It's that one set that you do. You give it your all-out effort. Whether you use lighter weight, whether you use heavier weight, at the end, right? How many reps you do, you got to work it, you know, to absolute failure or close to it. You got to give it your all. Let me just tell you, because a lot of people don't really understand what that means, and I get it. It's a continual journey to figure out what you can do. It's mental toughness just as much as it is physical. It's not even as much as physical as you might think. Let me just tell you, the opposite of training intensity is doing a routine, and I have an exercise and I do 3 sets of 10. So whatever weight I pick, wherever it is, you know, I just do 10 and I stop. Sometimes I can't get quite 10, but I'll fight to 10. 3 sets of 10, you're not setting yourself, that goal, how you set that up, you're not setting yourself up to get the most out of each set. And so what you're doing is just kind of lessening the intensity, just kind of getting through it like a long distance race rather than a sprint, right? So when you train with that type of intensity, you want to rest as long as you need to, to get 100% of your strength back, so you can do that type of intensity on the next set, because the next set that you're doing is all that matters, right? Now, you don't look at the whole workout, you don't look what you've done in the past, it's just that one set, right? So for some exercise, that may take as much as 3 minutes. You want to take as long as you need to get 100% of your strength back without losing form, feel, execution, concentration, your flow, or sync. All right. So some exercise might take 3 minutes. Some exercise you did your all and take 45 seconds. But the key isn't, you know, looking at a clock There's no magic number on that clock. It's all about overload. And again, if you think that more is better just because you're doing it, faster, no. If you think you're burning more calories, it seems like if you hurried up, you'd burn more calories to lose body fat. You lose that body fat with your diet. Testicular fortitude, right? All right. Yeah, Chris Reed, the clown says, shoulders hurt like hell, though. I won't go past 315 bench because I'm afraid to hurt my shoulders. Yeah. You got to be careful. We all know our limitations, right? We all know our limitations. So you got to figure that out. It's all about overload, whether you use lighter weight or heavier weight. And that's what it takes to build muscle. Certainly preserve the muscle we have as we get older. But if you have limitations, we got to work through it. But it overload, regardless if you have some injuries, a lot of injuries, no injuries. The principles to build muscle are the same. So how do we do that with our conditions? Safety is always first, right? No doubt about that. Digital Jed, muscle overload and fast loss starts in the kitchen. And change in mindset. Hi, good day, sir. I've been gymming years now. It's okay to take some tests. No. Let's see here. Let's see here. Chris, we kind of taken creatine aminos test booster called Animal Stacks. It actually worked for me. Okay. So Yazin, the question about rest between sets, did you get that? Do you have any follow-up questions on that? Was that helpful? Weight loss slowed, but I'm gaining fat around my waist. It's hard to lose. Flabby. Weight loss slowed down. Now, just because it slowed down, remember it's fat loss that you really want, not necessarily weight loss. How much weight you lose on the scale, especially after you've been doing it for a while, isn't always an indicator that you're not progressing. So you got to remember that weight loss will slow down. Now it may be more fat loss. So again, a lot of this is what you expect for your efforts, right? Should I lose X amount of pounds every week? And if I don't hit that, I must be doing something wrong. And then you change your diet, you change your routine, or you're filled with angst because now you're wondering what's going on. Or is that how the body normally works? You have to understand how it works, or you could be doing everything right. Everything right, but you feel that you're doing it wrong, and then it causes you to change. Are you on TRT, if you don't mind me asking? No, I am not on TRT, and I don't mind you asking. 6'2", 260 pound, 48. Okay, got that one. All right. The hardest part is trying to build muscle while on a calorie deficit, trying to find the sweet spot. Well, a lot of that, Crispy, is in your perception of what's going on, right? So, if I had a picture of you, I could probably kind of help you a little bit, more. But, my experience is like, for example, now again, these body images, people visualize something. But, if you had like 22% body fat, you would look better than most men your age, right? Certainly, the men who don't even work out, you would look better, no doubt about it, right? But 22%, if you want to have a physique closer to, some of these men, whether your age or whether it's the fitness influence, if you want to look like them, all right, you need to understand they are lean, much leaner than 22%. They're not, it's not muscle that makes them look that way. they have muscle, but they're lean, right? They probably are lighter than you think. And that's the path you need to go. So I'm not building muscle. You really don't know with that much body fat. You really can't tell how many ounces of muscle you're building over time, because it's not pounds. It isn't like you can get a lean steak and just slap a couple pounds on your body every couple months, right? It's not really how it works. So you getting lean is going to show what you have. You may not have as much muscle as you think, but it looks amazing. But if you stay fluffy, even though you look better than most, you're never going to know if you're really building muscle, losing body fat, doing it at the same time. And it's going to be a big mind screw in your head because you don't understand how it works. All right. You're welcome. I hope that's helpful. I know that at least I'm pointing in the right, and then specifically, how is that going to work for you? Thank you, PJ, for the follow. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. If you are new, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is 𝗪cie𝗂𝗂. I'll be 62 years old next month. I've been doing this just about 35 years. I'm a former 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder. The first 15 years, once I fell in love with it, it kind of came to my life at 28, looking for an adventure, a journey. What was I put on this earth to do? So it just, the events of my life, everything collided at the same time. Man, when I got in, I got in. All right, studied it, learned from all the greatest. I had a real job, at that time, right, so to speak. So I had the resources. All my extra income went to learning from the masters, coaching, guidance. All right, just was obsessed with learning more. All right, then when I started winning contests, there's these natural bodybuilding contests that were new. I started getting the vision. You know what? People ask me all the time. I want to be a force. I want to. It wasn't easy. Like social media, you could just turn in your amazing camera and just speak your truth. All right, man, you had to have a plan. I wrote articles. I remember the first article that I ever had published in a magazine. I had this woman. She was older, and she was a teacher, and she was like an editor for the muscle magazines, like freelance. And I remember, like, I had to mail it to her. There's no fax machines at that time. I remember getting my first version all typed out, like just all these red marks all over, like a teacher. I mean, but you had to work hard to get into the muscle magazine, writing articles and things like that. So I wrote my first book, Bodybuilding and Motivation, back in 1994. I built my first internet website in 1994. I sold my first VHS tape of bodybuilding and training in 1998. So been doing this my passion for, like I said, 35 years, helping out men just like you. Not just what I did as a bodybuilder, but what I did as a bodybuilder, where I think that can help, is that I had this all-in mentality, like your fitness influence do, whether they compete or not. Again, they love this so much. If they're saying, hey, I'm going to share the world, let me turn on my camera every single day and show them in the gym. I'm going to film in the gym. Now, they may be younger, and they're going to learn more and more about how all this works with their body. But they're crazy passionate about it. They're in a whole different space than the men. They just want to build muscle and lose body fat. So one thing I understand now is, when I was at bodybuilder, I just taught you what I did. I didn't know what a 50-year-old did or his life. I don't know. I mean, I guess I cared, but they want to know what I did, right? So like questions right now, like, Jeff, good morning, Jeff, or, Rory on YouTube, they'll ask, what's my training split? Well, he really doesn't want to know my training split. He wants to know what's the best training split for him. But I guess when I was young, I just figured, everybody wants to know what I did. How did I become a 6-time national champion? There were some, but it was their job to take what I did and to make it work in their life. And most of the stuff I see now was excess, right? Like eating 8 meals a day, every 2 hours, stopping everything. That wasn't neat at all, but I believe it gave me that, I don't know, didn't matter if it was a 1% difference or 10% difference. I want to do it all. That's that bodybuilder champion mentality. There's a lot of fitness influence. They have that champion bodybuilder mentality. They do a lot of things that when they make it to 62 years old and 35 years of doing it, if they, continue on, they'll realize a lot of stuff that they're really emphasizing, really getting excited about, answering your questions. Most of those things are not game changers that matter. And what they really should do is direct you to the things that matter most so you can build muscle and lose body fat. But right now, most of you guys are skipping past all those and getting answers to questions that don't matter. And so you're still wondering, well, why can't I build muscle and lose body fat? Why can't I lose, this fat? What's right? And it's because you don't understand how it works. All right. Thank you so much, 202 to Go Pro. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, Charles. Good morning, Charles, for being here. So 𝗪cie𝗿𝗸់𝗂𝘁 says, I go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week, 2 hours per day. Is this too much? How much rest muscles need? Well, that's a lot. I don't know what your goals are. If you love going to the gym 5 or 6 days a week for 2 hours, if you love it, you should enjoy what you love to do. Do you need that to build muscle and lose body fat? Well, it really depends on what you do there, right? But you can, if you knew what you're doing and you have the desire to get it done in less time, yeah, you got, you can achieve your goals, whatever they are specifically. You can do them with less time in that gym. I can cut that down in half because you can get it done in at least an hour instead of 2 hours and still do 5 to 6 days a week. Probably even go lower than that, but I can start off with cutting your time in half. All right. Good morning. Can you give advice how to incorporate cheat meals and also thoughts on fasted gym session? All right. Yeah. So when you know how many calories that you should be eating, right? Whatever your goals are, right? And let's just say it's 2,500 calories, right? That puts you in the right deficit or whatever, right? And you're consistent with it. And let's just say for weeks, right? During the week, when you're structured, disciplined, you're as close to 100% by eating those right foods, hitting that caloric total, however you decided to set the macronutrient, protein, carbs, and fat. Consistent. All right. And then you wanted a cheat meal. All right. And I know it's a hamburger and fries, a pizza. Just say it's 700 calories. All right, of that food. Well, if you're eating 2,500 calories a day, just leave room for that 700. Don't eat as much of the regular food where you eat that 700 calories worth of pizza and burgers or whatever it is. So that day, you hit that 2,500 calories. Now, normally that macronutrient ratio will not be as organized or as set up, but it's 2,500 calories. Boom. Wake up the next day, get right back on it for your 2,500 calories with those more healthy foods. That's how you incorporate cheat meals into a good diet. That's how you do it. As far as fasted gym sessions, I don't like to eat before I work out. And again, I know the argument, this taps into your fat or this taps into your muscle when you fast. It's a big debate. That's not a game changer. When you have good habits, good eating habits, good training habits, fasted cardio, fasted weight training versus eating a small meal before and immediately after, those aren't the game changers that you might think. Even if science supports it, even if it does give you edge, it's not the game changer that you might think. All right, let's see here. So we must have some new people here on Facebook. So welcome, Facebook. Let me know if you're new here on Facebook and YouTube. I expect when I do these lives that there'll be a lot more new people coming, but let me know if you're new. I still squat. I do, Rory, even though I'm older. There are a lot of machines though. There's this belt squat rack that's just awesome. So you got to be careful, just like with everything when you're older. It's always risk versus reward. I don't squat as heavily. I'm certainly not slap my chest like like I did in the past. But everything is safety. It's about working the muscle. All right, let's see here. Hey, Link, thank you for the follow. Guys, if you are new here on TikTok, my name is 𝗪𝗂𝗁. I'll be 62 years old here next month. I've been doing this for 35 years. I'm a former 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder. I did that extreme focus and dedication, all these training strategies, all these workout strategies that you're learning, you're hearing, it's coming through on your social media. I did all those things. I paid the coaches to be the best, right? I've done these things, versions of these things. So where it serves me, all right, I know how to cut out the excess. I know how to differentiate what's important, what's not, and that's the information I want to share with you. There's a saying that says, if everything is important, then nothing is. I think that's a big challenge for a lot of men who are trying to get fit. They take in all this information, the important stuff, the not so important stuff. They don't know how to prioritize it, and they're not getting the results that they want. They're putting in the effort, but it's how you prioritize this information. I want to help you simplify the process. There's a lot of things that, and again, I'm seeing some of the questions that you really feel you've been sold is really important. All right, like for example, target heart rate while doing cardio. I'm not saying that isn't true, but you know, cardio isn't even a big thing. It's not even as big as a factor as you even think to even lose body fat, let alone the target heart rate. All right, that all may be true going down there, but you don't even know how many calories you're eating. You don't even know how the nutrition is far more important. Cardio, certainly more than weight training, right? So, you know, trying to, you know, get this little detail done on something that doesn't matter, that may make sense. All right, but I'm helping you align, you know, what's the minimum you can do to get the maximum results, if that's important to you. There's some men, they're geeking out. They love the geeking out on the details. I get it. For a lot of people, this is more than just building muscle and losing body fat. It's a journey. It's an adventure. It's a hobby. They want to break it down. I get that. But if that's you, I'm not the right coach for you. I'm the right coach for older men, busy lives. You know, they really never made it a part of life when they were kicking butt in business and raising their family. And now their kids are gone or almost gone. Now they want to finally get rid of that body fat. They now know the importance, and they want to of working out, taking care of themselves. They don't need a new hobby, okay? They don't need to, they don't even care. They wouldn't even watch a roundtable discussion on TikTok or YouTube of 3 experts talking about protein absorption on a 1-hour podcast. It's not, it's just tell me how much protein do you need, right? Now, some people want that. I get it, but that's a different person. We're all building muscle and losing body fat, but we all have different ways to get there. And there are plenty of gurus, coaches, experts for you to follow. You can find one who is right up your alley, who you connect with. All right. And again, you know, if you're locked in, you're getting the results that you want, and you think a certain way of thinking and doing, it gives you a sense of certainty, and it's working for you. Number one, I've been doing this for 35 years. Okay. You're not going to convince me to your way of thinking, okay? Because I did your way of thinking, right? As a 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder. So you're not going to convince me if you want to get into a debate with me, right? Whatever you're doing, I've done it. Trust me, okay? Right? And here's the other thing. I don't want to debate you. I don't want to win over you, and I don't want to disrupt your sense of certainty. Right? So there are so many gurus. You need to find one that's the best for you. All right. I don't want to disrupt anybody's sense of certainty. If something's working for you, keep on doing it. Right? Brennan, hello. I am obese. I love playing soccer. Yesterday, I was playing action soccer. And I guess you hurt your lower back, started hurting. It's a 10 out of 10 pin. What can I go do? Is it Is it a result of being overweight or a muscle pull? Could be both. I don't know. You should see a doctor. How many days a week you work out and what kind of split? Okay, what type, you want to know my routine, or you're asking what's the best one for you? Really, what type of split? They'll all work. It really depends on what your goals are. You need to lose a lot of weight and you just want to kind of build muscle. So there's many different ways to get from your point A to your point B based on your goals. How much you train is really what do you do when you're in there, right? How effective and efficient. There's a saying that says one man's set is another man's workout. So extreme, but a lot of times it is true. You can get more done in less time when you're there. If some men, having less time isn't all that important to them. Getting it done in less time, right? But if you want to see my workout routine, you can see a version of it at 𝗪𝗿𝗂𝗂𝗪.com. It says workouts for older men so that is on my website, 𝗪𝗿𝗂𝗂𝗪.com. Also, it's on TikTok here, and it's about 5 or 10 videos in. It says workouts for older men. It's a 17-minute video. Work out the split, the exercise, the order, the sets and reps. So that's right here on TikTok, 17-minute video. I'm actually doing the workout. All right, you're welcome. Thank you so much for the follow, Brazia. Thank you for the follow, TRT Clinic. Shane, thank you so much for being here. Let me check. Got more questions here. Thank you so much. Let me know if you're new here. Justin, good night from Australia. Let me know if you're new on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure you ask your questions here. I come to you every morning about this time, about 4 a.m. It's Pacific time. Can be every single morning. All right. On TikTok, I do come back at least once more during the day. So make sure you follow. You'll be alerted every time I go live. Make sure you follow. All right. Take a look at all my videos here on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok. Make sure you visit my 𝗪𝗿𝗂𝗂𝗪.com website. So that's the way we can start a relationship. Thank you so much for all the likes, all the hearts. I appreciate that. Let's see here. All right. Thank you so much for the follows. Ruben is new from New Zealand. Thank you for being here. Is there anything to take for fat loss? No, over-the-counter supplements that can help them. That's going to be done with your diet. I know, what, that used to be a big category back in the day. I don't think they really try to sell fat loss pills that much anymore these days. All right, guys, thank you so much for the follow. All right. There's a couple things. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. There's a couple things I want to do. A lot of men, they've been watching my lives, or they want some help. All right. As far as my coaching is, I got to talk to you to see what you need exactly, or if I'm the right person, or that, I believe that coaching is right for you. I use my experience to make that determination, but I can help you with your biggest challenge. But I can help you for free. Right? I want to spend some time with you. Now, again, you don't want to waste your time, and you don't want to waste my time. The great thing is that, most men don't, and unless they're ready to go, they won't reach out. Right. So if you want some personal attention, got a couple steps for you, and I'll reach out. We can talk. My schedule is open today, and usually about, 3 or 4 men will do this every morning, and they'll reach out. right? And if this isn't your time, I don't want you to waste your time or my time, but it may be maybe a week or so. So think about that, right? So you can text me at the number on the screen, 925-352-43666, 925-352-4366. All right. So just introduce yourself. You don't have to tell me about your journey yet. All right. Introduce yourself. Hey, I saw you on YouTube. I saw you on Facebook. I saw you on TikTok this morning, whatever. Right. And text me a picture. Right. A picture tells me 1,000 words about where you are as far as your fat loss is concerned, your physique. I can tell a lot of things from your physique. Now, you don't necessarily have to take your shirt off. Whatever you feel comfortable is fine. You can just use whatever's in your camera roll. I can tell a lot from the picture, right? So text me, introduce yourself, and text me a picture, all right? Then go to talkwithskip.com. Talkwithskip.com. What that's going to do, it's going to bounce you over to my website, and I've got a questionnaire. And this is going to get you really focused. You think, well, what questions would I ask them? What do I need help with? Maybe you're so overwhelmed. Answering these questions will get you focused. Right. In addition to, I'm going to ask you, how much, how tall you are, how much do you weigh, how old you are, your phone number, email address, those type of things. But I'm going to ask you what your biggest challenge is. What have you done? Why don't you think that worked? Home gym, how long have you been doing this, right? Have you been really going after it for 3 months or 3 years? Or you're just starting, right? All those things are important as I help you. So take the time to fill out that questionnaire thoroughly. Text me a picture, and then I'll call you, text you. We can set up some time. I can tell you, and you're watching all these videos, scrolling all these things, hoping you find the right information. I can tell you in 10 minutes, I can cut to exactly what your #1 challenge is and give you the steps on how to handle that #1 challenge. I can do that in 10 minutes. All right. So if you're the type of man, I got a lot of men, they're go-getters. Type of man, they know what they want. They're going to go after it. They're going to reach out. Yeah, so that if that's you, all right, text me. All right, text me at the number 925-352-4366. Go to Talk with Skip, punch that in, fill out that questionnaire. I've got everything I need. I'll contact you and we'll get it done. We'll knock it out. All right. So that's the one thing. Those who are here like what they hear and they want to really get more into this. They think, do you think this is the solution that you're looking for? Now, so one thing about what I do is I hammer the basic things that you need to know. You may be doing them, kind of doing them, you may be doing them right, but just not sure even if you're doing it right. Don't have a complete understanding. And again, it's not your fault. Right? Most of the fitness influencers, they've talked about the basics maybe 5 years ago, 2 years ago in their minds. And I know you think you've already talked about those things, right? Just like you'll see this. So watch when you look at this. All right, you'll see it as you're scrolling through. Someone will say, well, how do I lose the body fat? That's really important to someone just getting on the journey, right? How do I lose the body fat? And they'll say, calorie deficit. Well, there's a lot more to calorie deficit that you need to understand, because you can be in a calorie deficit eating 1,000 calories. You can also be in a calorie deficit eating 2,500 calories. Why do you even have to know how many calories, right? There's a lot more than just calorie deficit, but such a basic question gets answered, just glossed over. But you can't go forward if you don't understand that. So what's talked about most? Oh, that this guy's, he has his elbow out when he's doing bicep growth. Wrong, right? Or talking about, again, sitting around with his science-based buddies having a 3-hour Joe Rogan type podcast about protein consumption and all the different theories and all the data. You don't need all that stuff. You gloss over. It's not what you need in the right order. So I want to bring you back to what I call the top 20 things that older men, must know about building muscle, losing body fat, and getting healthy and fit. This is a free audio recording. I've given out hundreds of these, absolutely free. It's 1 hour and 5 minutes. All right, and I talk about the 80-20 rule, how you get 80% of your production or more out of 20% of what you do. All right, you've heard that before. You see where it comes up in life all the time. So I would use that analogy, and so many men would say, well, what are the 20? I go, well, I'm just figuratively speaking, that's just an analogy. I don't know what the 20 are. But I got asked, so many men could relate to, yeah, that makes sense everywhere in life. What are the 20? So I finally said, well, I can answer that question, talking to so many men, doing this for so many years, helping out so many men. So I identified what really the top 20 things you got to understand, you got to appreciate, you got to respect, right? You got to get better and better at those things. Forget about, the arm position or this or that or whatever it's talking about, standing in a grocery store and you shouldn't eat top ramen or whatever is trending on the internet. It's popular, but it's not this. If you're just an old man, busy life, and just want to build muscle and lose body, the stuff that they're talking about that gets all the views, gets viral, it's not the things that you need. And if you skip over the things you need to go to that, you're going to be confused, stay fat, and not understand the process. So I want to give you this audio recording. So every time you come live, you can build upon your basic rock solid foundation of what you need to do. Whether you're watching my videos live every single day or you're watching somebody else's, you'll have more of an understanding so you can put what they're saying in context. All right, it's a 1 hour and 5 minute audio recording. It's called the top 20 things older men must know about building muscle, losing body fat, and getting healthy and fit. You can listen to this every week for an hour. Schedule it Monday during your walk. You can listen for the next 10 weeks and learn more and more and more. So you have that rock solid foundation. So when you come and get all the extra stuff where they're debating over, grams of protein, whatever, it's built on a rock solid foundation of understanding. Those things won't confuse you. Those things that may be true, but they're not game changers, and they're just confusing you. Throw up in your hands. So it's a basic organizing principle. If they want to be the coach that at least gives you that rock solid foundation, right? If I were to put that up here, most men would find it boring. That's why I believe a lot of fitness influencers don't talk about it. Give me something new. It's something new that gets all the likes, but something new doesn't change your life, right? So go to Workouts for Older Men, fill out that questionnaire. I'll send you that 1 hour and 5 minute audio recording. Also want to follow up as your coach to make sure that you actually follow through. Godfather, greetings from Canada. So glad you are here. All right, guys. Let's see here. Hey, thank you so much, T2. Michael, thank you for the follow. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me here today. Obviously, you're the first person I talk to every morning. Got to get myself up. I get up, I don't know, about 3:30 in the morning. Got to get myself up, get myself excited. Sometimes I'm dragging myself to come live to you, but you guys always perk me up, right? Get me going for the day. And actually, when it's time to sign off, kind of feel a little let down. So it's a big high and a big low. So so glad you are here. Thank you so much for the follows. Thank you for all your likes and your energy. Reach out to me. Again, reach out to me if you have any questions, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching. All this information may be motivating. I get all that. But without the execution, working into your lifestyle, right? Have more knowledge and you don't do what you know. Right. So, hey, let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day. All right, YouTube, Facebook. Appreciate all the views and all the follows. Come back today. All right. Get your questions answered. So glad you are here. All right. Take care, guys. Thanks for being here.